Hello, welcome to Old Nerd Shop's Goodwill. One of my favorite things to do. Me and my wife like to check out the Goodwills in the area. They often have sales, 40% off, 50% off, and we try and hit them up whenever we can, whenever there's a good sale going on. And this is a couple of trips right here. I picked up this Magic Tree House, books 1 through 4, still sealed. Paid like dollar 75 for this, still sealed. So this I probably am going to put right down in my old nerd store, a little store that I have, a little consignment shop where I have a little booth set up and I sell comics and movies and stuff like this. So that's probably where that'll go. Here's another still sealed item. This is a movie starring Jane Russell and Walter Houston called The Outlaw on VHS. I've never heard of this movie. I don't know what it is. Is it okay? And a fictional account of Billy the Kid, Doc Holliday, Pat Garrett. So that should be pretty cool. I have a box of I have a thing for picking up still sealed movies, and especially when you can just get them for a couple bucks or less. And at Goodwill, that's usually the case. And a lot of times I'll find stuff that's still sealed there. And basically, I'll probably put these kinds of things in that store I just mentioned, my little old nerd store. But I have a box where I keep all these movies that I find that are still sealed. Here's another one, Pearl Harbor, still sealed. This was a two VHS set, pretty popular. You see this. This is commonly seen in secondhand stores, Goodwills. This set, this must have sold like hotcakes when it came out. I remember the movie was really good. This is interesting because there's bonus features. So this probably came out around the early days of DVD, and DVD was starting to do bonus features. And so this is interesting that a VHS would have bonus features. So it's got a documentary, a music video for You, There You'll Be from Faith Hill. So that's interesting that it has bonus features, 60th anniversary commemorative edition. So that's kind of misleading. The movie came out in the late 90s, early 2000s. What year did it come out? Don't see on here. But it's not 60 years old. The movie isn't 60 years old. It's the 60th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. But yeah, that'll go in the still sealed box. Let's see. What else do I have in here that's still sealed? The Quick and the Dead, Sam Raimi movie. I'm a big Sam Raimi fan, especially the Evil Dead stuff. But The Quick and the Dead is an excellent movie with an excellent cast. Leonardo DiCaprio, Sharon Stone, Russell Crowe, Gene Hackman. Still sealed. So this will go in the still sealed box. Here's one, still sealed. The Eagle Has Landed, with another excellent cast. Donald Sutherland, Robert Duvall, Michael Caine. This is a World War II movie, came out in 1976. I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. So I don't know. I'm tempted to keep this one. This one might end up in my collection. But then again, I might come across a Blu-ray or a nicer edition of this, a more recent, like this. Let's see. So this one is digitally mastered, which means it'll probably look pretty decent on screen. But if there's a Blu-ray or a 4K version that's come out recently, the picture will be probably much better, much cleaner, much sharper. But for now, this will go in the still sealed box. Let's see, are any of these still sealed? No, nope. I think that's it. That's it for the still sealed finds. This was interesting. I think I've heard of this, but I was really surprised to find this. I live in a remote area of northern Pennsylvania, and it's nothing but small towns around here. There aren't any like big cities. So, when you find something like this in small town America, it's like, oh, somebody Either this got imported from a different Goodwill donation site, or somebody around the area had some impeccable taste because they were looking for more rare, more obscure films. This is basically, this is for the comic book fans out there. This is Lone Wolf and Cub. It's called Shogun Assassin, banned since 1983. So strong uncut version, but the blood gushes out all over the screen as if being hosed into the camera. This sounds amazing. I don't think I've heard of this. Maybe I have and just forgot about it. But when I saw it, as soon as I saw the cover, I was like, that looks like Lone Wolf and Cub, and I picked it up and I was looking at it, and indeed, that's what it is. He's the father is called Lone Wolf. His wife is murdered because he won't swear allegiance to a warlord, and then he goes on a path of bloody revenge with his little boy in tow. And yeah, I'm excited to watch this one. But that one I'm going to hold on to until I can watch it. Then maybe it'll go in the store. We'll see. This I'd never heard of. I think this is a foreign movie, The Devil's Machine. What has died lives again. And what got me was this back cover. And it looks cool. It has kind of like a Victorian clockwork steampunk kind of look to it. And it's about a cursed doll. And I think this is the doll. A lifelike cursed doll, and it's discovered. Oh yeah, a clockwork doll. So I mean, it's steampunk, and apparently she's cursed, and some scientists are supposed to figure out how to revive it, I guess, and then chaos ensues. I've never heard of that, but it sounds really good. This is a very cool movie based on true events, The Experimenter. It's the Stanley Milgram story. If anybody's heard of the Milgram experiments that took place in, I think, the late 60s, maybe the 70s, at Stanford University, I forget. But this is a movie about it, and it starring Peter Sarsgaard and Winona Ryder. The Milgram experiments, if you don't know about the Milgram experiments, look it up. It's pretty disturbing. And this is the story of Stanley Milgram, the scientist who performed the experiments, and depicting the experiments. And it's about human behavior, human conditioning. How much pain can a human inflict on another human, just based on being told to do so by an authority figure. And it's pretty disturbing, but I recommend it because it's good to know your human psychology. This I'd never heard of. Griff the Invisible. Apparently he imagines that he's this superhero because he has a hard time fitting in with society. And he meets a girl who does kind of the same thing and kind of helps him out of that. Oh, this is still sealed. Darn, I did have one more. So this one is still sealed. I'd never heard of this. Doesn't have any actors in it that are recognizable or known as far as I know. But it sounded very interesting. So I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to put it in the still sealed pile, but I want to watch it. My Favorite Wife, Cary Grant movie, classic film. I have not seen this one, but my wife and I are Cary Grant fans, so this will be kind of like a date night movie for us, I think. Basically, it's a Cary Grant gets married and then meets the love of his life, I think, kind of story. So we'll see, but I've never seen it before, but it sounds good. It's a Cary Grant movie from from the early days of his career, where he was extra energetic and funny. Got a bunch of special features. Robert Benchley short home movies, Screen Directors Playhouse radio production starring Cary Grant and Dunn. This is a pretty good DVD right here. It's a Warner Brothers release, so that'll be one for my wife and I to watch sometime. Here was a nice edition of Dr. Zhivago, a nice little digibook type 2-disc set. But so you have the old school DVD with the widescreen on one side and the formatted screen on the other. The second disc is a making of. It's a whole bunch of documentaries. So this is a really cool set right here. I'll probably keep this in my collection for now. And Battle of the Bulge, with a whole bunch of big name stars in it. Henry Fonda, Robert Shaw, Robert Ryan, Dana Andrews. World War II movie. New digital transfer from restored picture and audio elements, so this should look good. Even though it's on DVD, it should look pretty crisp. It's got a couple of vintage featurettes, filming of Battle of the Bulge and history recreated. But I'm a sucker for these old World War II movies, so that's going in the to-watch pile. I thought this was pretty cool. I thought this was a sticker, this Walmart 2 for $1. It's not, though. But this is the Three Musketeers, complete and unabridged. Very cool paperback version of it. Does not have a publication year in it. Does not have any kind of indicia or anything inside of it. So I don't know how old this is. I suppose maybe I could scan it and find out. But it doesn't look like it's ever been read. It's been handled a little bit. The pages are a little yellowed. It's got a little moisture damage. Not really much, though, but it doesn't look like it's ever been read, that's for sure. And I've read The Count of Monte Cristo, but I have not read The Three Musketeers. The Count of Monte Cristo is an excellent book. So I'm guessing that this is probably excellent as well. So that's going in my collection. And last but not least were these two children's books. The Cabin Creek Mysteries, The Haunting of Hillside School. This just kind of caught my eye because when I was younger, I liked Alfred Hitchcock's Three Investigators. That's a series of books kind of along the lines of the Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew. Anybody out there who's familiar with them knows that there's millions of those books out there. But Alfred Hitchcock's Three Investigators was kind of my jam. And there was a long series of them. And I have a bunch of them. And but this book kind of gives me that vibe. It's two cousins who live in this area called Cabin Creek, and they solve mysteries. And this one, I think, is the fourth book in the series, The Haunting of Hillside School. It's about like a haunted painting inside the school, I guess. But some of the other books in the series look really cool. Compliments of Seneca Highlands IU9 Family Literacy Program. But yeah, as I was saying, some of the other books in the series look really cool. The first book is called The Secret of Robber's Cave. The next one's called The Clue at the Bottom of the Lake. And then the third one is called The Legend of Skull Cliff. And they all look really cool. So this is something I'm going to keep my eyes open for from now on when I'm at Goodwill or other secondhand stores. This one's in really nice condition. Again, doesn't look like it's been read. And last but not least, Coco Pelli's Flute. This is a young reader's book. This, I believe, is a second printing, because when you look at the printing history numbers down here, 1 and 2 are missing. So I believe that means that this is like the second printing. I think that's what that means. But copyright 1995. First Avon Camelot printing, May 1997. So I'm guessing this is like a second print from what I gather here. I'm not especially sure, but this is another kind of mystery type book. Apparently, Will Hobbs, he's an award-winning author. I looked him up real briefly. He has a lot. He has a lot of books. These are a couple of popular books that he did: Bear Stone and Bear Dance. This book is just about a boy who lives near, what are they called? Fascinated by the magic of the ancient cliff dwelling called Picture House. And what is it? He finds this old bone flute, and it reawakens some ancient magic. He lives out in the west somewhere, and he happens along these ancient ruins, and magic adventures. I believe the flute turns him into like an animal, I think, is this deal here. But this one, again, really nice condition. Doesn't seem to have been read. So I'll either keep this with my young readers' books that I have, or put this down in my old nerd store. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's my Goodwill haul. All the recent stops we've made at Goodwill. All the things that I've found. All my still sealed stuff. Yeah. Anybody else out there like to go to Goodwill and see what kind of good movies, good books they have? That's what I do. I go right to the movie section, and I go right after that, I go right to the book section. And then maybe if I have time left, I'll look through the clothes, but not too often. So yeah, this is your kind of thing. Please like the video. Share it with anybody else who likes this sort of thing. And stick around. I do a video series on this channel, reading my Marvel comics in order, where I'm going through each comic book in my Marvel Comics collection, reading them one by one, doing a video on each. If that sounds cool, please subscribe. Share it with somebody who would think it's cool. Drop me a like. Give me some comments on what you've seen here, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.